Hey nerds, I feel really close to you right now, so I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Here's what you'll find on this week's rundown.
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
I just really wanted to make a giant atmospheric and space adventure.
Hold it. You get 2 lightsabers?
Well, technically 1, but I can split them.
You never gave me 2 lightsabers.
Welcome to the Nerd Rundown podcast, where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. I'm Darren Stemple.
And I'm Morgan Santo.
Thank you for tuning in. If you're here on YouTube, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our shows. You can also find us anywhere you consume your podcast. You can find us on our social media like Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, all at the Nerd Rundown. If you missed our new ad last week about our sponsor, Combat the Chaos, well,
Here we go.
hey nerds, you know we love to support our veterans and our first responders here at the Nerd Rundown. That's why we've partnered with Combat the Chaos, a veteran-owned clothing company that donates portions of their profits to organizations that are focused on mental health and suicide prevention, specifically for these brave heroes. Being a veteran myself, and one who's needed help in these areas before, it was important we found a partner we believed in. Veterans are at a 57% higher risk of suicide than those who have not served. When it comes to first responders like the police, firefighters, and EMTs, they have a 10% higher chance than the general population of developing mental health issues like depression and PTSD. If you want to show your support, then visit combatthechaos.com, use our code NRD for 15% off, and select from a variety of amazing hats, shirts, sweaters, and more. We thank you for your help in fighting this battle that first responders and veterans so desperately need. Now, back to the show. Welcome back to the Nerd Rundown. Here on the Roundtable discussion, we're going to be talking Mission Impossible Part 1, Mission Impossible Dead 7 Reckonings. No. Mission Impossible
Part 3.
7.
No, GoldenEye 64.
Mission Impossible Part 1.
Rocket Raccoon. Impossible
Tom Cruise
7.
Saves Cinema. I think that's better.
Close?
Yeah.
Close?
Yeah, Tom Cruise. No. Mission Impossible Part 1. Tom Cruise Saves Cinema.
Top Gun 4.
Again. Part 2. Tom Cruise Saves Cinema again.
That's it.
Either
That's
way,
it.
the early reviews for Mission Impossible Part 1 Dead Reckoning. Oh, darn it. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1? Yes.
First try.
I really hope this isn't a trend in Hollywood where.
Just say Mission
Part 1,
Impossible.
Part 2,
Everybody
yeah.
knows. Everybody knows.
Right, yeah. So Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Early reviews on this are amazing. 98% on Rotten Tomatoes as of right now. 190 reviews. Holy cow. If you haven't already checked out Morgan's review, go find it on TikTok. Morgan got to go to an early screening. The best part about this, Morgan, is what? What is the best part about the screening?
The best part is we have a surprise guest. If you check out some of the videos, there's a gentleman that comments a lot. His name is Captain Dunsel.
If that even is your real name.
Oh.
He will be with me at the movie, and you can see our early reactions before we watch the movie, and then our reactions after we watch the movie and what we thought of it. I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy it, so make sure you check it out. The Nerd Rundown, TikTok.
Cool. Finally, TikTok comes in handy for something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm excited, Morgan, because I'm reading some early non-spoiler reviews. Most positive stuff is about the cast, both returning and new, right? And the highlights are Haley Atwell, Rebecca Ferguson, who lights the world on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Her in Mission Impossible 5 may be like the prettiest anyone's been in a movie. She was just drop dead gorgeous. And in Fallout too, actually. Tom Cruise obviously is getting high praise. High praise.
That's high praise.
From his stunts. What do you make of all the good reviews, early good reviews? I know you're not an early review guy, but what do you think?
So I'm usually not an early review guy, but with Tom Cruise, I am.
Tom Cruise is so handsome.
And the reason is because I know Tom Cruise, like, he's a guy that loves what he does. And he's always going to put everything he can into it. He shares videos. Look, I'm actually doing the stunts. We're doing this. We're doing that. Look at this. Because he truly loves it. So when I hear these positive reviews, I believe it. Because he puts out a quality film.
It really did save cinema last year. Yeah, like...
Unbelievable.
The fact he was able to make a Top Gun sequel 40 years later is... Here's what I love about Mission Impossible. You know, it's an action franchise that has gotten better with each movie except for number 2.
That one didn't count.
Mission Impossible 1 was great. 2 definitely took a step back, but 3 saved it, and then from there it got better.
Awful thing ever, either. You know, it ain't good.
It's the Batman and Robin of the Mission Impossible series.
7 million. Never leave the cave without it.
It's the stay cool of Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Since then, it has consistently gotten better with each installment. Number 3 was great. The great bad guy in that one with
Seymour.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
There we go, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That bridge scene with the drone attack.
Oh gosh, that was great.
I watch that to this day. I look that up.
But even
just because it's so cool.
Even when like Ethan's like interrogating him, and he's like,
"Oh yeah,
who are you?"
What the hell is your name?
Names, contacts, inventory lists.
You have a wife, girlfriend?
It's up to you how this goes.
Because you know what I'm gonna do next? I'm gonna find her. Whoever she is, I'm gonna find her and I'm gonna hurt her.
I'm gonna kill everybody. Like,
yeah, and when he gets his name, he's like, I was like, oh shit! Like he was scary.
So scary. And then number 4's villain was probably so Rogue Nation.
I mean, Ghost Protocol.
That one was probably the weakest villain. He was like some Russian guy.
Is that the one that had Henry Cavill in it?
No, that's Fallout, and it's Cavill. And then Rogue Nation.
I don't even remember 4.
That was when with Jeremy Renner. They're in Dubai with the Wiz
Khalifa. I was worried because they were really using Jeremy Renner a lot in movies.
Yeah.
Like,
it was in the born time.
They're gonna play him too much.
But it's an awesome movie. Rogue Nation is so good.
That's the one with the big sandstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Such a good one. And then 5 is Ghost Protocol is number 4. Oof.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's gonna yell at me about that. And then Rogue Nation is number 5. And Rogue Nation introduced Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah.
The bad guy from Fallout. So he was the first villain to make his way into 2 movies.
Did you ever stop and ask yourself who it was giving you the orders or why?
The guy, he was captured for half of Fallout or more than half of Fallout and had the beard. Remember? You don't remember the bad guy from Fallout?
No, bro, I'm such a blank, man. Who's the actor?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know his name because he's not a big name actor. But if you saw a picture of him, do you remember when the van flips over?
That's not Philip Seymour in that one?
No, you're gonna punch yourself when you see this. And I'm throwing, believe me,
I got IMDb while you talk.
For the people who need the reminder as well.
I'm never wrong.
So that's number 5. He didn't have a beard in that one, but that one was kind of like the Spectre.
Sean Harris? Well, Sean Harris.
Oh, Sean Harris. Yeah, that's him.
That's the actor.
That's him. Yeah, Sean Harris. He was the first villain to cross over into more than one movie.
That's right.
And that's because Christopher McQuarrie came on board in Rogue Nation, and that's when him and Tom Cruise decided they were gonna serialize Mission Impossible. So, yes, Sean Harris, thank you. Great bad guy, like scary bad guy. Not as scary. I thought
It's
he was
just
more
got those,
scary
like,
in number
dead
6 in
eyes.
Fallout than in Rogue Nation.
It just has that, like, you look at his eyes, and, like,
Yeah.
just put a curse on you, like he's dead.
I loved him in Fallout, especially when it was Ethan that had to save him, and they're in that car chase, and Elsa shoots him. And he's just like so calmly, he's like, "That was Elsa."
That was Elsa.
You know, it's just like he's so psychopathic calm, you know? Anyway, thank you, Tom Cruise, coming to save cinema.
Help me, Tom Cruise!
Again. All right, so if you haven't checked out Morgan's review, go over to TikTok at the Nerd Rundown and watch him and our very, very special commenter and nerd himself, Mr. Captain Dunsel.
It is me, the one, the only, Captain Dunsel.
All right, let's get to the rundown.
Thank you, Kevin Feige. Love you, Kevin Feige. Thank you, MCU.
Welcome back to the Nerd Rundown. Morgan, oh my goodness, first on the rundown, we got some behind the scenes photos, not us, the internet. It was released to the internet. We're not that cool yet. Some behind the scenes photos came out of Hugh Jackman in his classic yellow Wolverine costume, which you can see in the middle of our screen right here. I'm not going to point to it because I just tried pointing to it and it really confused me.
Here.
It's center cuts. You'll see him right there. I'm looking at him right now. Morgan, finally, we get Wolverine in a costume, let alone the yellow costume. What do you think?
I want to call it gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
No, it's fantastic. I mean, seeing the silver where the claws are on the gloves, like I love that. I don't know why. That just that when I see that, I'm like, oh, that's 90s cartoon Wolverine.
Oh, totally.
Now I want the mask. We need to get the mask at some point.
Okay.
Seeing the full.
Let me ask you this: if you don't get a mask, are you going to be disappointed?
Not enough
Not
to be
enough.
upset with the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be slightly like, it would have been great to see a little mask, even if for a quick second, if he had it on and was like, oh, it's hard to see, it takes it off. You know, like, cool.
Yeah.
I get to see the full get up.
Okay.
But no, not enough that, like, seeing that, I'm like, all right, I'm good. Now, I want him to be in that more than just a quick, funny second, like, oh, this is so stiff, and he's out of it in 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it is like the Deadpool materials. I don't know, but
no, I think they'll do. I think they'll do well.
The only thing I wish you could see Wolverine sleeveless from his shoulders to like his forearms.
Yeah, it's like got that like
and
rim on the shoulder.
When I first saw it, I was like, "Whoa, what is that?" And I realized it's because he's not sleeveless. And I if there was one change, if this is what we get, I'm going to be very happy because this is pretty badass. If he does go, maybe he's like, oh, I need to get my Hugh Jackman biceps out of this costume, you know. And,
if they get like shot up, so he rips them off.
Yeah, he rips them off. It's going to be cool. Deadpool's costume, so in the movies, it was more of a matted red. And this is the bright red from the comics, so it looks really
like
cool.
Comics red, yeah. And it's funny looking at this still, even though like we don't know what's going on here, they're just together. You can tell they're having funny banter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like just like the way Hugh Jackman's face looked, like they're saying some shit that's just like
totally
off the wall. You know, Deadpool's saying something and he's just reacting. Like you can just tell.
Oh yeah.
And based on anything you ever watch with them together, they're true friends.
Yeah.
So their chemistry is going to be fantastic.
Totally. I can't wait to see this movie or the next thing on the rundown, which is Rebel Moon. Ooh. Sounds like this is going to be a much bigger thing than we first anticipated when it came out from Zack Snyder and Netflix. What do you think about this being Netflix's Star Wars?
That's what I thought they were going for. I seem to remember when they announced this early on, that's what they said. This was going to be like their big answer to Star Wars. Let's make a new Star Wars, but better for today, whatever they were saying.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it is. I would love it. Why not? If we had something huge made today, updated today's graphics and CGI and puppetry and whatever they use, why not? I'm game for another epic. I mean, Star Wars has gone in the shitter.
Yeah. What about it being Zack Snyder?
I have an odd spot in my heart for Zack.
Okay.
I really do.
You like him?
The Dawn of the Dead.
I know you like BVS because you're a weirdo, but...
It is, but the Dawn of the Dead remake is when I fell in love with it.
Okay.
I love that freaking movie.
Yeah.
It's one of my top 10 zombie movies. Love it. Something about it was just awesome, and that's when I fell in love.
Did he
So
write that
he's got
movie?
a little heart.
Did he?
I don't know if he wrote it. I know he directed it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he wrote it.
Zack Snyder has always done well adapting stuff. Man of Steel.
He does. He does a great job adapting stuff.
Well, like he's adapting that real 300 story, but you know, it's that wasn't necessarily an original piece because it was based off events in history. But he had, what was that steampunk movie he made? That was Sucker Punch. That
Alita.
sucked.
Oh no, Sucker Punch.
Yeah, Sucker Punch. That one sucked.
Yeah, that was not good.
So I worry about some of his original stuff.
That's fair.
But it sounds like he has built the universe of this world.
Yeah, I feel like he's a guy that could pull it off though, if he's really committed to it.
Well, I think what they're doing, they're making a much better decision. And when I say they, I mean Netflix and Zack Snyder. They're making a much better decision or instead of what Zack Snyder and DC did. They have built out this universe, built out this lore. Zack Snyder wrote a 500-page Bible about this, with the universe expanding well beyond before and after the events of this movie.
Right.
So
that's awesome. That's what I like to hear.
It sounds like he learned from his mistakes and he didn't rush it, or he's not rushing it. So it sounds like they have a much bigger plan, or at least it's better planned out than than what they had for DC. Next on the rundown, quick video game hits here, Morg. We haven't really got a chance to talk Jedi Survivor. Real quick, there's a sequel that's now rumored to be in the works.
Obvi.
Avi, right?
If it wasn't, that'd be dumb. The game was too good to not have a sequel, to get a trilogy here. It's fantastic. And let's introduce Cal Kestis into the real friggin' world here of Star Wars lore. Let's get him in.
Man, can you imagine if that happens? That would be so sick. And
I'd love it.
I get that they probably have a story that they want to tell in the video games first. Like,
I agree.
He's still a young actor. I mean,
Did you beat it?
What's that?
Did you beat it?
I did beat it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That twist.
I know, but I do feel like the antagonists of the story were weak.
I agree.
And I think
like,
that
I
hurt.
had no problem fighting the antagonist. Like, that was no issue. Took him out.
Yeah, and I mean, it's easy to hate the Empire, right? Like we hate Nazis, so we hate the Empire.
True.
But they're always such a good bad guy, and the bad guys in this one were a little weak. Now, what I loved about this game is the world building that it did for this world. It gave you incredible customization.
I made my America Cal Kestis, the tank top, the mullet, mustache.
I was gonna say, what did you pick?
He's like, they're trying to take our lightsabers away.
Yeah. I mean, it was so I did like a short crew cut with a long beard. Man, he looks so cool.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, I just loved it, and everything that worked in the first game, they enhanced the lightsaber, all the customization. I just wish there was a better bad guy, and it almost doesn't even make me want to play it again right away.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
I know I will want to play it.
I don't have a whole desire to go through the story again. I'd like to go and get the trophies and platinum it.
Yes.
But I'm not big on let me start over. The only reason I will start over is because there's certain trophies tied to starting over and getting certain things after you start over.
You know what? I think that's where I lost myself.
I just lost myself in the movement
in this game. So I beat it, and before starting a Journey Plus, I think it's called, I went back and 100% of the game before starting Journey Plus. So then when you start Journey Plus, you have everything.
Right, so it's what's the point?
I got bored with it. And it's really hard to go through that first part of the game without the dash.
Oh, yeah.
You're once you get used to it, it's like getting the double jump in the first game. It's really...
Oh, yeah, because the dash is so big. That's how I move now. When I move around, I just dash everywhere. It's so much quicker.
Yeah, exactly.
It's quicker than riding the animals, usually.
It's quicker than the transportation. And before, Morgan, we get to the trailer train, we have a bit of a side note here. Twisted Metal, the Peacock series that we've talked about before on the rundown, starring Anthony Mackie, Will Arnett, voicing the great Sweet Tooth character. the video game adaptation that's coming. That released a big time trailer this week.
Yes.
You can find our reaction to that here on the channel on YouTube. It led me to kind of a really good segue for the next piece is I've been getting asked a lot, why do some trailers get talked about on the rundown? Why do some get talked about on the trailer train? And fair question. Yep. There's bigger trailers out there, big tentpole trailers that we'll be reacting to, kind of moving forward. And then there's, trailers that are maybe it's the second trailer for a big movie. We'll talk about it on the rundown. Or maybe it's the fourth trailer and it's just maybe we've talked about it enough. We don't need to talk about it. We'll throw it on the train and give some quick thoughts. Basically, there's just trailers out there that are also needing some recognition. We've found some gems. I think about the movie Joy a lot. That stars what's her name?
Yes.
From Everything Everywhere All at Once. That looks like a great movie, and the reviews on that look great. I know Eric and I covered it on the train once. Really funny trailer.
No, that looks hilarious.
But that's not going to be a piece on the rundown, right? Doesn't necessarily even fit in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more.
There's just certain things that are bigger than other things.
Yeah, there's just certain things.
That's how it is.
Yeah, and you know what? We're all nerd in our own way. Sometimes there's movie nerds, or sometimes there's music nerds, or sometimes there's video game nerds. So it just all kind of depends on, how big is this trailer for the show. But we're fans of trailers, and so when we see a good one, we want to throw it on there as well.
Okay.
Let's get to the trailer train.
Next time, don't stand on the tracks when the train's coming through.
All right, so we're trying something new here on the trailer train, and this was from the mind of Big Morg 3000. Boop, 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 boop. Beep, beep, boop, boop. Okay, he brought up a good point. We need to talk a little bit more, or we need to give a little bit more of a rundown on what the trailer is, or what the movie is, or what the TV show is. So we're gonna read the synopsis real quick for each.
They'll say this
trailer
comes from feedback from fans that listen.
Yes, it kind of goes back to the side note.
Everybody.
We have some new subscribers. We've gotten a lot of new subscribers since the Nerd Rundown reaction started.
Keep it going.
Keep it going, absolutely. So they may not know our process. First up on the trailer train is the movie Napoleon. Don't think we need to describe to you what Napoleon is about. It's a movie from director Ridley Scott, big time guy.
That's his name. You could not remember.
I just always think about how I like Tony Scott a little bit more.
Yeah.
His brother. But Napoleon, it's starring Joaquin Phoenix as the titular character, Napoleon. Vanessa Kirby, who is also getting high praise. High praise.
That's high praise.
For her role. For her role in Mission Impossible again. She was in number 6 and now number 7. She's gorgeous. She's also been rumored for Sue Storm. She looks great in this. Jodie Comer's up and coming. What do you think about this trailer? Actually, sorry, let me read the synopsis just so we can be a little consistent with what we're doing.
Come on.
A look at the military commander's origins and his swift, ruthless climb to emperor, viewed through the prism of his addictive and often volatile relationship with his wife and one true love, Josephine, who is played by Jodie Comer, but it sounds like Vanessa Kirby's going to be causing some trouble. This is an Apple Plus movie. That's another thing. God, Apple Plus is kicking ass these days.
Yeah, they're really showing up.
And it releases November 22nd, 2023. So you know that this is going to be, it's right there.
Movie to watch with the fam.
Well, I don't know about that, but that's like beginning of Oscar push season. They are very confident in this movie. What did you think of it, Morg?
I feel like this came out of nowhere. I had no idea it was being made. I don't remember talking about it. And then I saw this like on YouTube. It was like, hey, check out this trailer. Or no, it was TikTok. It was like, watch this. I was like, oh shit. So I watched it and I was like, this looks really good. Now, Joaquin Phoenix is taller than I thought Napoleon was. Was Napoleon actually short? Or was that just one of those things we created?
I don't know for sure. Know.
Yeah, so I'm guessing. But like that scene when they're like, what should you do with the protesters? And he just whips out the cannons and was like, boop, boop, boop. I was like, oh, yeah, this man knows how to handle some things. It looked very good, action-packed. It's going to have a good story. It's going to have love. I think this is going to be a pretty good movie.
It really does. I mean, the look of it, the cinematography of it looks incredible. I feel like recently Ridley Scott hasn't made a beautiful movie. I mean, Prometheus was probably his last like beautiful movie. Not good movie.
Trash.
Not good movie. Still,
it's too bad.
Looked great. You know, the look of it was still amazing. Hopefully, he has a hit on his hands, and Joaquin Phoenix does look the part. Yeah, absolutely.
And Joaquin's a guy that you know is going to put it all.
Well, he's played a really good emperor before, so he's got a little bit of practice with that crown.
Such an a-hole in that movie.
God, I hate him in that movie so much.
God, I hate him so much.
He plays that role so.
He's so good. You just you hate him.
Next on the trailer train is we watched this trailer a while back. It was a teaser trailer for this from Paramount Plus. From Taylor Sheridan, creator of Yellowstone, Special Ops Lioness, starring Zoe Saldana, comes out July 23rd on Paramount. The first trailer for this was so freaking amazing, and this one did not disappoint. So here's the synopsis for that for the show, because we didn't have this before. So Jo attempts to balance her personal and professional life as the tip of the CIA's spear in the war on terror. The Lioness program enlists crews to operate undercover alongside Jo among the power brokers of state terrorism. This also stars Nicole Kidman, Michael Kelly, who you would know as Doug Stamper in House of Cards. He's also in Jack Ryan right now. What's his name? I don't remember that. But he's his.
I didn't watch House of Cards.
He's the bald guy, his like contractor buddy now.
Oh yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
And a fully bicked, shaven Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Dude, it's almost weird to see him like fully baked. Can't wait for this show. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks cool. Simple as that. I think it's going to be fun. I hope it's got some intelligence behind it. Gives me a good story. But overall, if it doesn't, as long as it's fun, I'm good with that. I like the shows / movies that are a distraction every once in a while, where it's like, hey, check your brain out. Watch this. You're going to have fun.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. I'm really good with that because I do like the psycho thrillers like we'll get later on the train, but this one just looks like it looks like a more action packed like Jack Ryan almost, you know?
Yeah.
It looks so good. And Taylor Sheridan, he can't fail good right now. I mean, he is
he's
creating.
He's rocking
so many. It's there. You look at his IMDb, you're like, he did that. So love the guy. He's great. Keep him on a roll. The next one, it kind of fits in that, you know, maybe there's some music nerds out there like Jason Sparks. Biopic movies are a big thing right now in Hollywood. We've seen with Queen, we've seen with Elton John, we've seen Whitney Houston. I know I'm missing one in there at least. So the next big one is Bob Marley.
Freddie Mercury. Did you say Queen?
I did say Queen.
Okay.
I know I'm missing one at least. Anyway, the
internet will yell at us.
Yeah.
They'll let us know.
So Bob Marley, One Love comes out January 12th of 2024. So that's kind of when they are releasing these in January, February timeframe. Bob Marley was on in my house a lot growing up. My dad loved Bob Marley, so I have a very special place in my heart for Bob Marley. The lead actor, Kingsley Ben-Adir, might know him from Secret Invasion right now. I know you're not a big fan of him.
Guy?
Yeah, he's the guy who plays Bob Marley, and he looks great and sounds great. What do you think?
Hopefully his acting is better. No, I'm hopeful for this. I love music doc type films like this. Like you said, like Elton John, the Queen movie, there's a bunch out there.
Yeah.
I love films like this. I do love Bob Marley. There's something about listening to his music that just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
You feel relaxed. There's nothing I love more than sitting out on a nice summer day with a breeze, a nice drink, and you're listening to some Bob Marley. It just sets the mood, you know, if you're at the beach and whatever, you feel good.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful for this. I'd love to see it. I hope they do a great story. I hope they treat him well and respect his honor and do it right.
Yeah. These musical biopics that are coming out, they all kind of lead to like the seminal moment in their music careers.
Mm-hmm.
Like Queen at Wembley.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston at the Super Bowl. This one is the Peace Festival down in Jamaica. You know, these big events that happen in their musical careers, these biopics lead to this, and they've done a really, really great job of paying respect and tribute. Next on the train, we have another movie called Inside Man. This one is starring Emil Hirsch. Not the biggest name you would know, but one of those like, oh, he looks like,
yeah,
he looks like that guy.
When you see him, you know him.
Yeah. When you see him, you know him. He actually hasn't been in something in a while, but the synopsis here is based on true events. A disgraced police detective seeking redemption by going undercover to expose a violent crime syndicate. But as he sinks deeper into the mob, the price for absolution may be higher than he can afford. I got American Gangster vibes with Denzel. Yeah. I got Goodfellas vibes. Those are good vibes to have for a movie like this. What did you think of watching this trailer?
It intrigued me. I like Emil Hirsch. He's an actor that I think he does a really good job. I think he's underrated. It's in the movie. When I saw it, I was like, well, I'm not going to see it in theaters. Once it's like free to me, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it looks cool.
It's not a theater movie.
I've noticed, not a theater movie. It's like, put it on whatever streaming service. I'll check it out.
Right. Yeah, Emil Hirsch from The Girl Next Door. Man, what a great movie that was for us to have in the Army.
Oh, that's what I always think of, is that movie with him.
Yeah. He looks like, a mix between Joaquin Phoenix and Joshua Jackson. And maybe a little Ewan McGregor, too. I don't know. Let us know your thoughts of who you think Emil Hirsch looks like in the comments. Next on the train is a movie called Corner Office, starring John Hamm. Releases it was supposed to release last year on June 9th, but it's releasing August 4th. But the synopsis for this one, I didn't see this synopsis before watching the trailer, but I totally got Severance vibes from this trailer. And listen to this. In this workplace comedy reminiscent of Office Space and Severance, misfit Orson, played by John Hamm, finds himself trapped in the absurdities of corporate life. As the authorities' newest employee, Orson finds it difficult to connect with his mysterious deskmate, Rakesh, played by Danny Pudi, as well as with the rest of his colleagues. His alienation deepens when he discovers a room he's told doesn't exist. A place that unleashes his true potential, leading to an ascent up the corporate ladder. It's almost like in the trailer, you can see it. Go and watch it. It's a terrific trailer. He's the only one that can see this room. And when he enters it, he's the best of himself. What do you think of this trailer, Mark?
I'm intrigued. Like, I want to know where it's going. What's it doing? I mean, seeing this has me excited to actually start Severance at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Someday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got to finish Flash. But,
Now you're going to make me throw my mug at you.
Yeah, no, it looked really exciting. The story seemed cool. I'm in.
Yeah. I'm wondering.
Where's this coming from?
Oh, yeah. I'm wondering that.
Is it Apple?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. It's, it says in theaters, on digital, and on demand. So we don't think we know where Lionsgate will release it. But I wonder if it got delayed last year to this year because of Severance. Severance came out around that time.
Okay.
And
you think they want to compete with it?
I don't think they wanted to compete with it. I honestly, Severance, when you watch it, when you're done with Severance, when you finish the season, it's a slow build at first. It's some of the most incredible storytelling. The writing in it is some of the smartest writing I've seen in a TV show. The last 3 episodes are just holy crap, heart-pounding tension. I mean, it felt like I was like on the edge of my seat the last 3 episodes.
Wow, okay.
It's so smart. It's very, 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 I highly recommend it. Funny story, when I was first watching it, this is how good it is. Meg was like my muse for the show, my guide. She had already watched it, and she'd been begging someone to watch it. So she's like, I want somebody to experience what I'm going through. And we're all like, okay, yeah.
Right.
And as I'm watching it, I'm like, giving anecdotes to her, telling her things. And we get to the finale. She's like, where are you at in the finale? I'm like, I'm at 8 minutes and 21 seconds. And she fast forwarded to that point, and we watched the finale like together, not in the same room or anything, obviously, but she wanted to watch it again and experience it with me at the same time. That's how good that show is. It's incredible. I mean, the ending is, well, you're just like...
I was so shocked.
Did I watch that or Lost?
I would watch Severance first because Severance is 1 season.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
You catch up on that a lot faster. It's some of the best TV show I've seen since Lost. I mean, it's up there. Corner Office. Corner Office looked pretty good.
Yes.
Let's get to the NRDbox. on the NRDbox. It comes in from Nurse Chapel. Nurse Chapel writes in, if you could fix the MCU starting from right now, what would you do? Please do not take this as me saying the MCU needs to be fixed. I'm even more positive about this than Darren is.
Wow.
It's pretty positive.
That's possible. Yeah.
But let's say Feige hired you as a nerd consultant. What are the moves you're making? Morgan, you sound like you have...
And I fire Kathleen Kennedy.
Hell yes.
This is the MCU, not Star Wars. But
No,
yes,
she's
also
in charge of it.
that will help. She's not in charge of the MCU though.
Oh, she's in charge of everything. Can I fire her?
Legally, that's called a hostile work environment.
Okay, I can see that.
We can legally fire her and bring in whichever man we want.
If her name is in credits anywhere in anything MCU, can I fire her?
Yes, if you can
Then
find
she's
if you can
Step
find her
one,
name.
Kathleen Kennedy gone. And that's it.
Actually, just make it a prerequisite to you being hired.
That's it.
If you're gonna hire me, Kathleen Kennedy needs to be fired.
Yeah,
There you
she's
go.
gone.
Okay.
Get some real mutants in there. Let's just introduce that already. Let's figure that out. Oh, Daredevil.
Okay.
Let's make it dark. That new Daredevil coming. Let's actually follow the comic it's supposed to be based on. Let's show them we're not afraid to do this. Let's do it.
All right.
Simple as that. That's gonna restart it. Boom, it's going to hit it. Jumper cables. Pow. Electricity. Let's go. And moving forward, let's just follow comics. It's not that hard.
Honestly.
I love comics. I don't care if it's the same thing I freaking read. Now it's on the big screen. I'm good.
I will say very similar vibes. My prerequisite, hard words to say here tonight, is that Marvel Studios would have to secede from Disney. I think about the possibilities of what they... Listen, I'm as big of an MCU fan as it gets almost. I loved everything from the MCU through Endgame, right? And then it's been spotty since. But I also think about what we could have gotten from Marvel Studios before Disney bought it. How they had a different tone in that first phase. You know, it had a different Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk. You know, Thor and Captain America kind of were a little bit more of what the MCU is now. But those first, you know, especially the first two, Iron Man and Incredible Hulk, those were different. They have a different vibe to them.
Oh, yeah.
And so I wonder, like, if we could get it so that the MCU didn't have to abide by Disney's rules.
I don't work here anymore.
And maybe that was Feige's vision all along, is to go to Disney, or maybe happened that they needed to be bought by Disney. Either way, I always wonder about what that world would look like. Obviously, I don't want to erase what we've gotten. So, okay, we secede from Disney. And then from there, it's X-Men coming right down your throat. As soon as freaking possible. I would make it so that, like, maybe something in a movie coming up was like, oh, the multiverse got fixed and we are moving on from that.
$300. Job well done.
We're done.
All done.
Sorry. Somebody fixed it. Somebody came in. I saw a rumor that Jeffrey Wright's supposed to appear as Uatu the Watcher in a live action, which I think would be so sick.
Remember that weird little leprechaun we saw at the end of, like, Eternals? Fixed it. We're done.
Yeah. Like, what was it? Who made that decision? That was not Feige. Anyways, so we'd be done with multiverse. I just think it's making the world crazy right now.
Agreed.
And I would be like, this is the mutant saga, and it is going to be a 10-year saga like the freaking Infinity Saga was. We're going to make a bunch of X-Men movies.
Let's roll with Wanda being crazy. Do a House of M officially.
Yeah,
let's do it.
It'd be a good way to reset the universe. You know,
introduce mutants, do a whole thing. Let's do it.
And I'd love to see a good Cyclops on screen.
Much appreciated, Pops.
Someday soon, promise. This Wolverine suit gives me hope for the X-Men coming up, though.
Yeah, beautiful suit.
Beautiful, definitely. Good NRDbox question there, Nurse Chapel.
Yes.
I do want to give you a shout out on this, that it was such a good NRDbox question that it gave Meg a migraine and she had to back out for tonight. So Meg, I hope you're sleeping in the dark right now.
Her brain exploded trying to figure this out.
She says, I can't get my NRDbox question answer straight, but it's something along the lines of sticking to storylines in the comics that aren't off the wall bonkers, or not sticking to comic book storylines because the general public doesn't get it / appreciate it.
Fair.
Like all that's super
Makes
fair,
sense. It's hard to argue.
The off-the-wall bonkers Doctor Strange zombie, I think Meg was trying to make that point to us, and trying to, get
Came
her
out of
word out
nowhere.
to us. So, she asked, she goes, was the zombie Doctor Strange in comics? And I was like, yes and no. In that sense, no. Like, there's a zombie comic line, and we're getting a TV show, a cartoon TV show out of it, but
all you have to do is believe.
Yeah. The comic book storylines provide such a good base. We've seen the MCU adapt these stories, in name only and do a good job. We've seen them take bits from them and do a good job. They've never really done a straight page-to-page adaptation. And I think, if you use it as a base, you pay respects to the comics. That did it first. You're not going to do better than the comics by doing it page for page. You're going to do it better by making it and paying respect and making it as, as good as you can.
Right.
Like Civil War is such a good adaptation. It wasn't page for page, obviously, a bunch of differences, but still so good.
It's no She-Hulk.
Okay. You leave She-Hulk out of this. You better not get rid of She-Hulk. Morgan, thank you. That was a good short little rundown. Yeah. We're very excited for you and Captain Dunsel to make an appearance online tomorrow before Mission Impossible. Good luck with that. We look forward to watching the review. By the time we've released this, I'll have watched your review. So it's a little weird kind of Inception moment there. Maybe, or Tenet. Maybe Tenet and Inception combined.
Oppenheimer?
Started by Oppenheimer. All right. Well, yep. Meg, we hope you're feeling better. Eric, we hope you're enjoying your camper vacation.
I know. Quit bumming it. Come back.
Well, with that being said, we'll see you all on the next The Nerd Rundown.
Deuces.